You are just a subject, serf, or slave. You are the property of your central planners. Your government overlord own you. Not just in life, but even once you're dead and gone. I mean, all Canadians that I'm aware of at least understand that when a human being passes from this earth and they take their last breath, that their last will and testament is all that they had left, right? So, when you die and you choose to leave any portion of your accumulated wealth, your income, your possessions, whatever you want to leave to others when you die, I mean, that ultimate decision has to be with you. That's if you accumulated your material possessions and your wealth, without stealing from others per se, right? Like without being full on criminals, then I don't even know why. You know what? I don't even know how I'm going to cover this shit, to be honest with you. But I mean, think about it. So this Ontario judge overturns doctor's will that would have granted scholarships only to white heterosexual students. So this guy, this doctor, I mean, fucking hate him, love him, or anywhere in between, whatever you want. He chose to prefer, like when he died, he said in his will that he wants to leave, money to grant scholarships for white heterosexual students. And there's male and female if you go and read this. So but even if it wasn't, that was his last will and testament. But here we go. An Ontario judge has struck down a deceased doctor's attempt to set up a university scholarship exclusively for white single and heterosexual students, ruling the unusual stipulations clash with public policy. Dr. Victor Prebes, trustee, should ignore the discriminatory directions his will set out for the proposed bursary, said the Superior Court of Justice's decision. Although it is not expressly stated by Dr. Prebes that he subscribed to white supremacist, homophobic, and misogynistic views, the will statements leave no doubt as to Dr. Prebes' views, says Justice Alyssa Mitchell. Her decision invoked a little-known legal principle stemming from an 80-year-old Supreme Court of Canada judgment that allows courts to squash or quash people's final wishes if they clearly offend the interests of the state. So you can go on and read this. It's in the National Post. Like I said, it's just, well, the article headline is Ontario judge overturns doctor's will that would have granted scholarships only to white heterosexual students, by Tom Blackwell, February 21st, 2016. But I mean, so here you go. I mean, what more proof do you need? The state owns your ass. I mean, think about it. Even when it comes to birth, or pre-birth, like abortion, conception, your entire life, and even when you die, the state owns you. Anyone that tries to deny that reality does not pay attention. Anyone that tries to deny that reality literally is not paying attention to fucking anything that's ever put forth that contradicts or goes against the predefined narrative that's built up and entrenched in their mind. That government is here to help and this and I mean, how is it that you can stop them when a person decides in their will? I mean, think about it. He's not saying to use it for violence. He's saying he wants it to go. So think about it. If you chose to give it to a kid, your one kid even, right? The rest of the family may be pissed off. If a father died and if he had 5 children, he left all of his wealth to that one child, it could come across, if you wanted to use political propaganda, as he was being discriminatory towards his other 4 children, but it was his last will. It was his will. He accumulated that wealth himself. So it's, of course, it has to be up to him as to where it goes. But this is the thing, what I'm trying to explain to you people, and I try to do on a regular basis. You don't even own yourself. You don't own yourself. You don't own the productive fruits of your labor. You don't own your intellectual capacity and your skills. The government will allow you to function in whatever, they'll only allow you to work in whatever the mandates or dictates that they put forth. If you step outside the bounds of your political master, as you see, the illusion of freedom and liberty ceases to exist. Every fucking time. The minute anyone tries to step out the bounds of the edicts of their central planning authorities, well, they're automatically overruled. The central authority owns your ass, even when you're 6 feet under. They can completely dictate to the contrary of what you wanted. They can do the exact opposite, and it's done under some semblance, some umbrella of legitimacy. Why? Because the masses are seemingly willing to go along and follow that bullshit narrative. I mean, lots of people might try to say, oh, well, this fucking guy was, like they say, whether you want to believe, even if you think he was homophobic, sexist, whatever, that was his last will and testament, to leave these scholarships to a certain demographic or certain. But the state, see, what's that? Let's go back down here again. Oh, yeah. If they clearly offend the interests of the state. So you can't offend the state. You can't offend your religious masters, is what they're saying. Is, we don't like what you said, so we're going to completely, we'll use your money, the wealth that you accumulated, for whatever we want, whatever we decide. Forget about what you thought. You forget about the fact that you thought you actually maintained control over your wealth and your resources. Well, we're here to show you that, no, that's not the case. Wow, right? So what we live in, I know it. I recognize it, or recognize and acknowledge it. I think it's about time that a lot of other Canadians and a lot of other people around the world start to recognize and acknowledge that, no, you have no power, you have no say. Your life, your liberty begins and ends with whatever your status overlords tells you. How that exists is all dictated by your central authorities, your central planners. The people that steal, dictate, and plunder all of your resources and your wealth. They control you from cradle to grave, and even, as we're seeing, prior and post of those events. It's Canadian Libertarian, and I love liberty.